The Stranger I Met 3. Written by Eberichukwu, Folktale Therapy. When everything was about to change, it seemed as if James had repented of his violent behavior. But then he displayed the worst of it all. My first son, Solomon, is stubborn but full of zeal for education and very hard-working. One day, James warned him sternly. "Solomon, I don't want to see you outside the house when you return from school." Yet Solomon would always play on the staircase with his peers. The moment he saw his father approaching, he would run inside. One fateful afternoon, Solomon was busy, as usual, playing on the staircase. He jumped from one step to another, shouting and yelling. "Solomon!" his father barked. "What are you doing?" Solomon stood there, staring blankly. James ran inside the house, came back with a long slim cane, and began flogging him. With the strength of a child, Solomon grabbed the cane. Without remorse, James tried to snatch it back by force. In the struggle, the cane struck his eye. What a big blow! Raging in anger, my husband James stormed into the kitchen, which was close to the staircase. He grabbed a kitchen knife and struck Solomon on the head. Blood gushed out immediately as Solomon cried. James showed no regret. Instead, he forced Solomon to clean up the blood on the floor. Solomon, knowing what his father was capable of, obeyed and began cleaning. Just then, my neighbor's son, Chuka, stormed in. "What is wrong with you, Solomon?" he asked. Solomon, with tears in his eyes, could barely speak. "Solomon!" Chuka screamed. "What happened?" Solomon pointed at the kitchen knife lying on the gas table. What about the knife?" Chuka pressed. Daddy, he hit the knife on my head," Solomon managed to say. Chuka stood there, shocked. "He did this to you, and still asked you to bend and clean the blood." Without wasting time, Chuka rushed Solomon to a nearby private hospital, where he was treated and later brought back home. By the time they returned, James had gone to his usual drinking spot. What a cruel father! Without conscience, without fatherly love. When I came back that evening, Solomon was already in a deep sleep. Chuka narrated the whole story to me. I was sad, depressed, and angry. I later took Solomon to a nearby photo studio, shaved his head closely, snapped him and left. James came back home very late that night, drunk. No words, no remorse, no apology, he simply went straight to bed. The following morning, he bathed and left as if nothing had happened. It was a terrible ordeal that has refused to leave my subconscious mind till this very moment. That incident prepared me for even bigger troubles ahead. A man who could treat his first child in that manner could one day kill his wife. My reason: the child is his blood, but the wife is just his partner. James is kind and good-looking but hot-tempered. He can give all he has and start begging the next minute. Tell me of a man who is hard-working, kind-hearted, and compassionate, yet lustful, arrogant, and full of rage, I will mention James Okoro. I actually wanted to quit the marriage, not by choice but out of fear. His rage was uncontrollable. I kept praying for him, hoping to see a change. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. I had my third child, and later my last, 3 boys and a girl in total. I thought he would turn a new leaf after building such a blessed home. Alas! He grew worse. His friends were his nightmare, terrible, wicked, and bad friends who influenced him negatively at every opportunity. James is tall and handsome. Though uneducated, he surrounded himself with educated people, lawyers and politicians. When I had my last baby, my mother came for Omugwo and witnessed a terrible scene between James and me. He hit me as though I were his fellow man, with no regard for the presence of his mother-in-law. My mother picked her belongings and left the house. But where exactly did she go when she left? And what did James do after she was gone? The Stranger I Met continues in episode 4.